Welcome to the Locomotion series, guys. We're going to run you through, what are we doing? Running through a warm-up.
Warm-up.
Yeah. But yeah, you should go through this warm-up before jumping into each session. We're going to stretch out the wrists and the hips, and that'll basically prepare us for going through some of the work that's entailed in this workout.
Yep.
So we'll just start with a few different wrist movements for you guys. So the first one is just a flexor stretch. So we're gonna turn the fingers so that they're facing the body, palms are flat on the ground, and then from here we're allowing the palms to lift away, the fingers to peel away, but the fingertips stay touching. And then we come back. So hands peel away. I'm putting quite a bit of pressure down through the floor before coming back. Now we want to find a point that we can touch the knees. If we're not able to achieve that where we are, we need to move forward until we can. And if it feels too easy, we can move further away so that we're actually moving deeper into the position. We'll go through 10 repetitions there. And then on the last rep, hold in the bottom position for 10 seconds. Just note that the fingertips shouldn't peel away from the ground at all. They should always remain in contact. Cool. From there, we're going to stretch out the extensors by placing our fists down on the ground. We're going to allow the hands to roll over so the backs of the palms move towards the ground. And then we come back to the starting position. We slowly lower down, keeping the elbows locked. And then we come back up. If we can't stay locked with the elbows, we can loosen the palms a little bit. And in time, work at maintaining a tighter and tighter fist with locked elbows. So it'll be 10 reps there. Then we're going to place the hands flat on the ground. We're going to lift the thumbs, lock the elbows, and then we're raising up onto the fingers before slowly lowering the palms back to the ground. Now the thumbs should stay off the ground the whole time. So even when the palms come back to the floor, the thumbs are elevated. We also want to make sure that the shoulders are directly in line with the hands. So 10 reps there. And they're the wrist movements that we'll roll through. So yeah, we'll move on to...
How many rounds?
We'll do 3 rounds. 3 rounds there. Yeah. Once you've done your 3 rounds, we'll move into a couple of little squatting patterns. So from this position, we're going to move through 4 different movements. The first one is simply a hinge forward. So we're going to hinge forward and come back up. Make sure when we come up, we're lifting the chest nice and tall. We also want to be working a point that we can reach with the hands. For some of us, it might be here. Others, we could go, say, a little bit lower. Or we could go lower again. Whatever distance we're working, we just want to make sure that when we do squat down, we're not lifting the butt away from the ground. So it's a folding of the spine before coming back up. We'll do 10 reps there, hold in the bottom position for 10 seconds, and then we'll move on to our next movement, which is a little sequence that presses the knees outwards. So we're going to make some little Buddha prayer hands, and then we're lowering those hands down. The elbows are pressed against the knees, which drives the knees outward. And then we come back up. So we come down and then back up. If you need a little bit more resistance, we can make fists, and we do the same. And just by having fists, it's gonna mean that our knees get pushed out a little bit further. We'll do the same rep scheme, so it'll be 10 repetitions, and then on the 10th one, we're just gonna hold for 10 seconds. Once we've done that, we're just gonna move into a rotational movement. We're going to place our shoulder up against the knee, holding onto our opposite ankle. And then we're using this elbow as a guide to rotate the upper half of the body. Yep. So elbow comes down to the middle, it extends up, and then once we hit that sort of end point in the rotation, we extend the elbow. So we'll do 10 reps there. We'll move on to the other side and do 10 reps. The final movement, we're going to be in a similar starting position where the shoulder's against the knee, we're holding onto our opposite ankle, but we're going to place the hand on top of the knee from here. And then we're going to press the knee away as far as we can. Ideally, we want to try and lock the elbow. Making sure when we're doing this that the heels don't lift off of the ground at all. If you can't lock the elbow out, it is okay just to work a reduced range. So just as much as you can. And then in time, we're getting further and further. Ten reps, and then holding for 10 seconds on the last rep. Once you finish the first side, straight onto the second side. From there, we're just going to come into a squat. We're slowly going to move the knees towards the ground, touching lightly, and then coming back into that squat. Once where you land back into the squat, we're going to press the knees away so that we have weight on the outside of the feet. And then we're going to roll through that movement again. So knees come forward, we touch, we come back, we press the knees out, and then again, forward, touch, out, and back. And just another 10 repetitions there.
And if you can't go all the way down?
If you can't go all the way down, we can just reduce the range, like what Marco's doing. So we can hover over the ground. We could also put an object that we can comfortably touch, and then in time we can creep closer and closer to the ground. There we go. Cool. One last movement. From there, we're going to stand up. You can have a little walk around at this point, stretch the hips out, and then we're going to come into this split squat position. We're going to lower ourselves as far as we can. Yep. And then we're just going to be gliding from side to side. You notice my hips stay on this level plane. So I'm gliding across, I'm locking this knee out. If you want, you can sink a little bit lower. Working side to side. Cool. 10 reps each side here, so 20 in total. Yeah, that sequence you could roll through 3 times, and then you should be nice and warm and ready to jump into some locomotion work. Cool. Thank you very much, guys.